Hello everyone and welcome to Sagav.
This is your host, Badr Amin, author of Happy Life, Summarized Guide and Habits to Self-Development.
In this podcast, we aim to find common habits of people in different industries such as, but not limited to, sports, investing, business, by identifying their mental and practical habits, routines, and recommendations for you as a listener to be able to integrate it to your own life. Thus, the podcast will hopefully help you identify what are the common essentials that contribute significantly and maximize their performance regardless of the industry. The podcast is divided into two parts, where the guests will talk about the mental practices, self-talk, and who is successful to them, whereas the other part is more into the practical habits and routines integrated into their daily life and their recommendations for the listener. So, please enjoy and take notes. Our guest today is Safia Mohammad Al Shehi. She's a master's degree holder in the art of communication from University of Sharjah in the UAE, a certified trainer from the University of Minnesota, and she is best known for her training in personal branding and effective communication. Safia is the author of 6 books for adults and children, a columnist in Khaleej Newspaper, TV presenter and professional voiceover. She received an award from UAE Pioneers in 2016. She's also chosen as the official VoiceOver of EXPO 2020 in 2021. She has 2 podcast shows, Identity and Let's Face It. You can find her at www.safiaalshehi.com, which is SAFIAALSHEHI.com. Instagram at Safia Al Shehi, SAFIAALSHEHI. I would like to thank Safia for being part of this podcast, and without further ado, let's dive in. What is your 1 to 3 most gifted books or channels, shows you recommend?
I use different resources to feed my mind and soul, such as Think and Grow Rich, Dare to Lead, Seat of the Soul. Also, I'm a good podcast listener. My favorite ones are the Marketing Book Podcast, Think Fast, Talk Smart, and the John Maxwell Leadership and Super Soul.
Who is considered successful to you and why?
Is the one who's authentic, has the courage to stand inside him or herself, who's not worried about others' opinions, but his or her standards, who's humble and wise and at others' service, who knows how to lead him or herself with dignity and can touch people's life with kindness, because I think this is the right way to find our true selves and to leave this world in a better way than we found it.
What advice you remind yourself with and why?
I would say be wise, because wisdom is the mother of leadership and the mother of all values. When we are wise, we will not have to battle ourselves in those useless situations. When we are wise, we will know better and we will act better and we will gain better results.
What helped you identify your purpose?
Experiences and results. I kept my heart and brain open to all possibilities, and I tried everything despite the fear and sometimes the risk. I studied the impact of my act on the world, and then I found an opportunity to make my community better through knowledge and communication. I can say my purpose is to serve others through conscious knowledge and mindful and empathic communication.
How thoughts, self-talk, and past experiences are shaping your perception? Do you revisit these thoughts in any category?
I do a lot of journeys to my past experiences, and I use my memories as lessons to craft a better presence. I think I grew a better awareness in my relationships based on those experiences. It's not an easy task to be fully aware and present, especially when you're going through an inner drama. But I have learned a lot from different masters in this field. I have learned how to handle this inner dialogue in my conversations and how to separate myself from any judgmental act. I stopped the blaming, which could be one of the self-destructive mechanisms. I think one of the best way to be able to listen to yourself and to people as well without embracing any judgment or negative feelings. It starts from your mindset.
What thoughts dominate your mind on life? For example, do you say to yourself, life is hard or life is easy?
I say life is life. I don't expect less than that. And for me, life is beautiful, and I'm always amazed by this gift. When I think about it, I can't live half a life, and I don't want to. When I leave one day, I will leave it better.
With what thoughts do you start an endeavor, job, or task?
So there are different questions. The main one is why? Do I have what it takes to do it? What do I need to invest in order to achieve? How much time and effort do I need? What are the impacts on my life and the people I love and respect? Will I be able to sustain it? How can I make it better? In what way will this change me? Does this match my values and my needs? I do all this in my journal.
Do you practice prayer, meditation, and/or visualization that helps you in achieving goals? For example, do you have mental practices to prime and equip you for work, financials, and other significant areas in your life?
One of my best practices is sensitization. This practice involves my imagination and my senses. Over the years, I developed a way to be able to live in the future I aspire for. When I chose the moment from that future, I live it, smell it, touch it, and I feel it. A lot of time, I write all that as well. I used this technique for my first job as a presenter. I used it when I wanted to become a writer. And now I'm using it to live another dream. How do I do it? I take an hour or less or more just to travel to this new reality that I want to pull towards my current reality, and my brain is doing the rest.
What repeated tasks or steps you intentionally do as a ritual, routine, and method to cultivate focus, productivity, and goal manifestation?
As a start, I try to keep a clear and simple routine. My off to bed times till my morning awakens. I started usually with my movement activities like yoga and cycling. Then I read for 20 minutes. Then I prepare myself for the day. I use my car as a learning space. I listen to different podcasts. Sometimes I would warm up my voice if I have a class to teach early in that day. I have a busy schedule, but I always find the time to read and learn. I do a lot of online courses as well. There is time for every important task and project, thanks to my planning mechanism. One of the good practices is pre-planning my weeks and months. This helps me a lot to keep everything under control and to mind a good balanced routine. And I end my day with gratitude practices or visualization.
Do you have environmental cues to prime you for performance and productivity, such as having written statements or images to remind you into why you're doing certain things? Or it can be designing a place or going to a place that boosts your performance.
Well, I keep everything in writing, and I use my phone alerts, but I draw my motivation from myself. I always remind myself about the value behind any task or project. I can live the future results of my work, and this helps a lot.
What beliefs, habits, behaviors, and practices adopted recently improved your life greatly?
I have different habits like journaling, reading, exercising, and engaging with mentors. Recently, I started practicing yoga, and I have found a great impact from physical, mental, and emotional aspects. Other one is mindful listening, which is a great tool to build strong relationships and learn from others.
When challenges, fears, and/or failures hit, what steps are taken?
I take a step back to assess my situation. I try to learn more about everything, and I ask myself, what can I learn from this challenge or fear about myself? Usually I learn a lot. Then I take a step forward towards that situation. Sometimes I would reach for help, someone to share things with, or someone who's expert in the matter, and can guide me in this situation. But I never stop or hide or run away.
What 3 concepts, beliefs, and habits and behaviors should others adopt? It can be a quote, an advice you go by, or habits that work greatly for you.
I have different concepts and beliefs. Let me share those with you. You will reap what you sow. Hard work works. All is good, and I'll be good, and I will get what I work hard for. And the last one is karma is for real.
If fans would want to copy your footsteps, where should they start?
Let me think. I would say be a student, don't be a follower. Guard your mind from toxicity and invest your life, time, emotions, energy, and focus for the right cause.
This is the end of the podcast. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for more.